Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a brand new episode of Sky is the Limit with Sayyid FAROOQ Hasan. I've always been convinced that Pakistan's biggest strength is the youth. We have about more than 68% of the population which comprises of youngsters. The youngsters can do a lot for this country to take it to new heights. The youngsters are our future. Today, my guest is a very, very distinguished individual. He's a young man, just graduated from med school, and he has an achievement which I feel is very difficult to surpass. He is the recipient of 23 medals which he earned during his med school. He is none other than Hafiz Dr. Muhammad Hamza Waqar. Let's have a word with him. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Walaikum salam.
Hamza, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. Such a pleasure and delight to be here with you.
I feel such a pleasure to be invited on your show.
Thank you very much. Sitting at your place. Hamza, 23 medals in 5 years of studies, and that too medical study, which I've always been convinced is probably one of the most toughest courses that anyone can go through. And that I figured when I saw the Gray's Anatomy book, which was this heavy, about 5 tons, and I said, I am not getting into medical. So I want you to run down your journey of life. You're still a young man, you have a lot to do, places to go, and I am convinced that you will make Pakistan shine brighter. So let's start with your early childhood. Where were you born, how many siblings, and how did it all start?
I was born in Islamabad in a middle class family, where government schools were generally preferred. All the private schools were increasing day by day, but my parents got me admitted into a government school under the supervision of federal government, which is very nearby to my locality. IMS G63, I want to mention it.
So it was not one of the most prestigious or high-tech schools. No. It was a normal government school. Okay.
And the distinguishing feature was you will be feeling astonished that I didn't acquire any preschool education like prep, nursery,
nothing.
KG. No.
You straight went into class 1?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And there the 4 years.
And what was the reason for that? You were too bright.
You were too I was actually feeling I didn't any.
You didn't get any supervision or any guidance?
I was too good for early school education. I got admitted into one, but I was feeling I should go into the school class 1 directly. Because I already knew the course, because my parents were teaching me from the early age, 3 years, 2.5 years.
So you got the early education or the training which we get in prep or nursery in your house?
Yes.
Your parents are teachers?
No.
What do they do?
My mother is a master level education she has. So
she's a housewife?
She's a housewife.
Okay.
But due to his good education, she always taught me everything according to religion also, according to the worldly luxuries and everything about education. So moreover, my father was a doctor. So there was education prevailing in our family, and we actually preferred government school was better than. And actually, I want to mention one thing more, that I actually passed the admission test at the age of 4 years, which usually people pass at 5 years or 6 years of age.
Okay, so you were slightly ahead of time.
Yes.
And were you the eldest of the siblings? How many siblings do you have?
I have one brother, young brother.
And that's it, just one brother. So two
brothers,
of you?
Two brothers, yes.
Okay, so you were the elder one.
Yes.
And you had more responsibility on your shoulders, as is the case in our society. Okay, so you joined straight in grade 1, and how were the early school days, and were you like pretty okay that most of the students that you were studying with had done their nursery and prep? They might be more brighter than you or something, or were you at par, or were you better than them?
You can say it is due to blessings of Allah Almighty.
I
was actually studying in class 1, and I didn't feel any time that I am lagging behind someone. I actually passed my primary education from early school with A+ grade, having scholarship in Federal Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education.
Okay.
After that, I joined secondary education in IUSBG Sport. That is another under the supervision of Federal Government School, where I used to think sometime I should study in study school because HASAN is
Some private institution.
Yes.
And so tell me, how were the conditions in the government school? Were you encouraged in extracurricular activities like debates and sports, or was it just studies? And how were the teachers? Were they cooperative? Were they, encouraging?
The strange thing is, at my time, only intelligent students were actually backed up by teachers that you should participate in extracurricular activities too, and you should rock the world.
So that's the top 3 students.
Top 3, 4
Others
students. I had no interest in my early life that I should participate in extracurricular activities, debating and speaking. But I got positions in 1 class and 2 class 10. In grade 3, my teachers used to back up. You should participate in extracurricular activities, and I was astonished that I have never been following any background of it, or I have any interest.
And why am I picked?
Why I'm picked? Then I participated in an English debate competition. And debate was not written by my parents or anyone.
You wrote it yourself?
No, my teacher wrote it for me. She actually wanted me to participate at any cost.
Okay.
I participated.
Were you a favorite student?
Yes.
Okay.
Because in my class I had my 34 class fellows, out of which 24 were girls and 10 were boys.
Okay.
I was the only boy who was getting position, and boys are generally feeling chill in the school, and they don't actually prefer education.
Focus more on studies.
So when I got first position in English debate at the interzonal level in the Islamabad, so that really inspired me that I should study more.
And you have some...
The appreciations actually feel you very good.
The
that
encouragement.
Encouragement, proud moment. The teachers helped me.
And then parents also, and then all relatives who would meet you would be like, oh wow, you won. Yes. So that really prompted you. So coming back to your school days. So initially in grade 1, 2, 3, were you good in sports also? Or were you a studious student like who would finish all his homework, be the teacher's pet and like that? Or were you a normal, chilled out kind of a person?
I was involved in sports, specifically cricket and badminton.
Okay.
Because that were actually supported by our school, that government schools have competitions, inter-school competition, intra-school competition, inter-board competition. So I used to participate in that. But as a sportsman, I didn't carry my career. I was early telling this that I was not actually interested in sports and extracurricular activities from the start of my life.
Okay. Were you focused on studies?
I was just following my father, that he studied very hard. Okay. He became a doctor. I have to become a doctor. I have to study.
Right from day one, you were sure that you want to become a doctor. There was no pilot. There was no engineer in the horizon.
From the early childhood, I was inculcated by my parents as well as my father that you should become a doctor. And like every father.
Yeah. That's very common in our households. Who taught you or who inspired you in your early school days? Your mother or your father?
I would say both. Both. Because my mother used to teach me, but my father used to give motivational support. That is very important. Without psychological support, you can't do anything. So whenever I feel low, I talk to my father, and he's my best friend till now.
Wow, awesome. Okay, and so during your school days, you were always achieving positions in your class?
Yes.
Right from class 1?
Start from class 1. Actually, I didn't get position in class 3 only. From
rest of the
otherwise from grade 1 to till now, finally from BVS I am good.
What was your favorite subject?
Science, general science.
General science, you were interested more. What about maths?
Generally people who love general science are actually don't love mathematics. But I had in my mind that I should rock the world. I should score good marks, no matter what the subject is. But the subject we actually love to study, and I don't feel any burden while studying. So that was general science for me.
And mashallah, you have another feather in the cap, which is really something to cherish. You're a Hafiz Quran also. You learned the Quran by heart.
Yes.
When did that start? What age? What
I
class?
was in class 5.
Class 5.
My father had a dream and wish that out of his 2 sons, one should become a Hafiz Quran.
Okay.
He called me and my brother who want to become Hafiz Quran. I was not interested at all.
Okay.
But one day he called.
You were busy in your studies and all. You said it will be difficult.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay.
I should become Hafiz Quran. He called me, and that was a very interesting story, and that will be inspire others. That he called me and he stacked up all my books of 6th class. I actually passed the 5th class then, and said, "This is more, or beside lying Quran is more." I was astonished. What should I answer? I said,
of course, the books.
Yeah, of course, the books, the stack, the pillar is very more. He said, if you can memorize this in 1 year, why can't you memorize this in 1 year?
Subhanallah.
That was actually inspired me.
Okay.
Why can't I do?
Okay.
So
and what did your brother say?
He was actually more chill. He was not interested in studies from the early days of life.
He wasn't following your footsteps.
No.
Okay.
So he actually ignored this. But
I hope he's not listening to this.
So then I
you decided to take it as a challenge and learn Quran.
Yes.
And how long did it take you?
From the class 6, I actually started learning Quran along my studies. In class 6, during the whole year, I got first position, and I memorized actually 10 to 11 paras of Quran.
Okay, 30 are in total.
30 are in total. So then I think that if I can memorize 10 paras in 1 year, then I can't, with studies, then why I can't memorize another 20 paras in 1 year another. So I skipped 7th class.
You didn't go to school?
No, I skipped 7th class.
Totally.
Okay.
And your teachers were okay with it?
Okay, they were actually the religious aspect. Everyone helps you.
Okay.
Blessings of Allah come to.
So you told them that I am going to learn Quran, so I am not going to take grade 7,
yes,
and I will come straight to grade 8.
Yes, I actually joined back my class when I was in grade 8.
And your teachers were okay. They said, okay, fine, we will give you exemption, even if you have.
You know, in government schools they don't usually force up.
Okay.
So I actually memorized Quran. I repeated it. Then from the grade 8. I started reciting Quran in the Taraweeh.
Subhanallah.
At the age of 11 years.
Okay.
Then
in your local mosque?
Local mosque.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't get the mosque because mosque are less and Hafiz Qurans are more. So I started reciting Quran in my home also when I don't get a chance in mosque. And from that till the 2023, I have recited 14 times Quran.
And did you read tafsir also?
I am reading tafsir nowadays because
I am now
free of studies, so I have time.
Okay, so now you are getting in the depth, understanding the actual essence of the holy book.
Yes.
The
and in childhood, teachers and my Qari Sahib was actually motivating us that you should learn about tafsir and translation of Quran. But I didn't pay attention because in childhood you have to do play
and you have to do cricket and all, and then play with your brother and all that. Okay, so you joined directly in grade 8, and then the matriculation exam came, which is one of the most important exams because your future direction, your future course depends on the marks that you get in your matriculation.
Yes.
So what happened there?
When I joined back in 8th class, I studied in IMSP G64 Embassy Road. So there is a tradition that all the position holders of 7th class and 6th class are stacked up in another class which is named scholarship section.
Okay.
Where teachers of 8th or 7th class were not teaching. Actually, the teachers of higher secondary education and matriculation level was teaching.
Okay.
So they polished us very much.
Okay.
Then after passing and taking position in the 8th class, they actually forced me to the section of 9th class. But I passed that 9th class and 10th class with A+ grade, having position in the school. And after that, I joined Punjab College for my pre-medical education. And
so you got enough marks to get into Punjab?
Yes, I got admission and scholarship actually.
Oh wow, okay. So you topped in your school?
Yes.
Okay. And then you got in the pre-medical?
Pre-medical, and where there is another tradition that there is also a scholarship section in the Punjab College. I got admission into that.
And since you were focused from day one that you want to become a doctor because of your dad, you didn't have any choices or any problems in selecting whether you want to go for pre-engineering or arts or accounting or whatever?
In the start of my career, I was participating, as I told earlier, that in debates and stuff like that. during the secondary school education, I was head of Dasme Adab Society in that school. So that was actually pushing me that I should go towards arts or become Urdu teacher or something like that. Reading poetry was becoming a fun. Actually, I wrote a poetry in 8th class. I wrote the poetry of Ahmed Faraz and Bahadur Shah Zafar. I said, they have written this ghazal in
ages back,
and why can't I write this? I actually wrote a ghazal. So that was actually beside one thing that continuously come in my mind, that I should go towards
we will
arts.
talk about all that, your extracurricular activities and your distinctions, in the later part of the program. But right now, when you got into pre-medical in your Punjab college, how were the early days like? Did you enjoy, and you were sure that you've made the right decision?
Because I told earlier that it was inculcated in my mind that you should become a doctor.
Regardless.
I took it as a challenge.
Okay.
I should become a doctor. I didn't think of anything. Even one choice came that I should become a dentist. But I didn't opt for that.
I want to do MBBS and I want to specialize as a surgeon. Okay.
And during the early days of Punjab College, yes, I faced difficulties because there is a jump of syllabus from matriculation and FSC level.
It becomes tough
And you know, medical students are very insects of book, and they're bookish people and always studying and studying. I was a brilliant student, but there was a section of everyone brilliant was there. So that was competition. That actually inspired me, motivated me to study more and more, because that is also case in medical college. So it was good experience.
And nowadays the merit is so high to get into. So then came the intermediate exam, which again is a decider which medical college will you go to, right? How were those exams?
Exams were taken very good, and I scored A+ grade in that also. Then I appeared for entry test examination. That is actually compulsory for the admission in the medical college. It was all good. I prepared hard for that, and I got admission on the top merit in Fazaiya Medical College.
Very nice.
Under the supervision of Pakistan Air Force.
And Fazaiya Medical College is also now a renowned medical college.
Yes. It's among the top 3 medical colleges of the 20 cities.
Okay. Did you happen to look at the syllabus or the books that you would be studying during your medical college?
Yes, my father's book were lying here and there.
And you were okay with those? Okay. So you got into Fazaiya Medical College on merit. And how were those 5 years of MBBS? Were like they tough?
From the early childhood, I used to listen that MBBS is a tough. But when I get into it, I find that MBBS is a synonym of struggle, efforts, and difficulties. In first year, I used to say to my parents, where I am stuck.
Why did you get me into this? Why did you get me
Why
into
should
this?
get to it? So, but as the time passes, you get to know, you adapt. Because the main reason was I was saying that I am where I am stuck because there was a lot of syllabus, and you know there is no boundary of syllabus, and when you are a brilliant student in class, you expect more, that you should participate in that too, and when it is not happening, so you feel
a bit dejected.
I should not do this, I should do something else, and it is asking for more and more, demanding more and more hard work. Up till when I would study and up till when I should.
And were you doing any extracurricular like your poetry or your cricket or anything like that?
When I was in medical college, actually there is a competition, intra-university and inter-university competition. There was auditions for the debating and stuff like that. I used to give auditions and actually participated in many things.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. And along with your studies?
Along with your study. As the time passes, I should, all the teachers said, this year is difficult, next year easy. This year is difficult, next year easy.
And that's how they passed?
No, they actually made a false argument again in front of us. It was not the case. It was actually every year coming with a more difficult.
More difficult.
Because new subjects in every year, new fields. In the third year MBBS, you have to go to the hospital, you have to check the patients and do OPD. So that was another experience. So, but as the time passes, I adapted, and I used to find out that it is becoming easier day by day.
Okay.
No, not as much as difficult that it is used to. It is used to listen that it is difficult study, but it needs hard work because you are working on the human body. a little mistake in your skill, little error in your
Can
skill
kill someone.
can pose disastrous condition to that patient.
Absolutely.
And you don't, maybe you don't get disadvantage from that, but the patient, because in our medical ethics, first thing we have been taught that do not harm the patient. If you can't benefit the patient, you don't harm the patient.
You have to save lives.
You have to save lives.
And were you social during your college days?
Yes.
Like you had a lot
I
of
was
friends?
actually class representative of my batch.
Ah.
There was a tradition in Fazai Medical College that every topper boy, or on the top merit I got admission, so every topper boy is CR and every topper girl is a GR.
Class
So,
okay. How many students were you in your batch?
in 116.
116. Wow. So there must have been milestones along your way, and like the 23 medals that you were awarded. Were you aware of those milestones, that if I do this, I'll get 1 medal? Then if I do this, were you aware of that?
No, I was not aware of that.
You were just working on your own.
Because our college was new very, and in the new college you don't know what sort of awards they would award us and what sort of prizes they would award us. So, but I had in my mind, my father actually told me that I didn't get any gold medal in my MBBS journey. So you should get 1.
Ah.
So I was actually aiming for gold medal of ophthalmologist because I had passion. I should go in ophthalmology. My father is ophthalmologist.
Okay.
So in the journey of ophthalmology and taking gold medal in that, I actually acquired many other medals.
Ah. Okay. And what medical college did your father go to?
Rawalpindi Medical College.
RMC again.
Yeah,
So
famous.
didn't you have any thing in you that I should also go to RMC rather
I
than
applied,
Fazai?
but unfortunately, I didn't get admission in that.
You didn't get admission on merit? My God. And you got 23 medals in Fazai. I'm sure RMC principal would be very much upset right now. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So, so you finished your last year of medicine, and how did you score? You scored extremely
Yes,
well. I'm sure you topped.
extremely well. I was on merit. I was awarded best graduate of institution, and that is a combination of good in the curricular activities as well as extracurricular activities.
Wow.
So that was achievement. I was aiming for that. In the first year, I actually go for Umrah, and I prayed to Allah Almighty in front of the Holy Kaaba that I want to become a best graduate of institution. I promise I will work hard as much as I can.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Allah
granted that
granted
wish.
that.
Yes.
And you know, everyone wish to achieve something big in your life. And a day comes when he achieves that. The feelings are uncomparable, unmatchable.
I am sure. So this ceremony that you had, the graduation ceremony where you were awarded 23 medals in one go, I'm sure the person who was awarding them, the chief guest, would have asked you to stay back at the podium rather than going back every time and coming back on 23 times. Huh?
He was actually our ex-foreign minister, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. He actually offered a job to us, Gambit Hospital in Sindh. He was very happy, and he was saying people in Pakistan are getting 20 and 23, 24 medals from MBBS journey. It is very astonishing for him that Pakistan has so much talent.
So just give me a gist of all these 23 medals that you got. Which faculties?
Starting from the first year, we have subjects anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. I got medals in biochemistry, physiology, then pharmacology, general pathology and microbiology, pharmacology, and pathology, and medicine, surgery, pediatrics, and community medicine. I got 7 distinctions, 23 medals.
Wow, and your parents must have been so proud of you.
I want to mention something more, that everyone has a wish. Actually, I had a wish that my parents get respected and dignified because of me someday. Wow. Because I was always introduced by their introduction that he's a son of who.
Now they must be called that he is the father of Dr. Muhammad Hamza Waqar.
I wanted to hear that. The day of convocation, they actually dignified them, and they actually respected them. They made them sit in the front row, that he said they are the parents of Dr. Hamza Waqar. That was a really proud moment of my life.
And your, mashallah, and your inspiration was your dad throughout, right? Great. So you graduated with 23 medals, and then you entered the practical life. But before we go there, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back in a very, very interesting conversation with the whiz kid, Dr. Muhammad Hamza Waqar. In fact, Hafiz, Dr. Muhammad Hamza Waqar. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sky's the Limit. I'm in conversation with Hafiz Dr. Muhammad Hamza Waqar, the whiz kid with 23 medals to his distinction. Dr. Hamza, you passed your medical examination with distinction, with 23 medals, one of the most proud students. I'm sure you made your country proud, your parents proud, such amazing moments you just described. Then I believe you have to do a house job, right? After.
Yes.
So I'm sure a lot of hospitals would be after you to do your house job there, is it?
Yes, a lot of hospitals were actually prefer the topper students that they come here and serve their hospital and actually learn more, that their name actually taken into account of his CV. So I actually applied for PF Hospital and CDA Hospital. CDA Hospital was very near to my locality.
They are both government hospitals?
Government hospital. PF Hospital is actually under the supervision of Pakistan Air Force. That was allied hospital to our college. But I didn't prefer that because one reason was it was far away from my house. And second was there was no patient inflow like that was in CDA. So there is more patient,
more public interaction.
More public interaction, and you learn more that if I'm checking 10 patients of fever, I would not forget anything about fever in 10 patients. If I've checked one patient of fever, I will forget next day what I have checked and who was complaining that. So in CDA Hospital, I got on the top merit in the house job because there was actually merit based on the FSC, then pre-medical and all the certificates of first aid and life support workshops. So I actually did 3 months house job in general medicine and 3 months house job in general surgery. That is mandatory for everyone. Then you have to choose 2 specialties for another 6 months. That is mandatory, 1 year house job is there. Then I chose ophthalmology and skin and dermatology and aesthetic medicine. Because I chose.
This is, you have to choose this during your house job?
During my house job.
Actually,
in the interview of house job, they asked us which specialty you have to join. So I told them.
That's 1 year that you have to
1 year mandatory house job.
So how was that experience?
House job experience actually taken into account 2 dimensions. What is the professional training? You work with the doctors, senior doctors. You get to learn how to behave with patients, how to take care of them, how to behave with the administration while working in hospital, how to claim your rights.
More of your management skills, interactive skills.
Yes, communication skills, verbal communication gets better in that.
Yeah.
And second is clinical skills department. And clinical skills, unfortunately, I can say in our country, the house officers are not preferred to do surgeries and
they're not encouraged or they're not given the opportunity.
Because there are a lot of burden of post-graduation trainees and young doctors who have just specialized, so they prefer them. But I had good grades. I actually had intention that I had to learn more, so I actually push up the HODs, doctors. I should learn which drug you are prescribing, this drug, why you are prescribing.
You used to ask questions.
Yes. Okay. And then it is saying that asking questions make you learn more. So I used to ask many questions. Sometimes teachers got fed up. Like, why are you asking? Everyone is sitting comfortably and silent. Why is asking again and again this thing? Because this year is the only last year, as known by all the medical specialists, that this year is the last year for your mistakes. After that, you will be accountable because you get license about that.
Before getting the license, you can get your hand free in that.
Because you're not responsible for any casualty, you're not responsible for any blunder you did. You can learn.
The senior is responsible.
Senior is responsible.
And you'll become a senior one day also.
Inshallah.
So you finished your house job, and I'm sure your seniors would have been proud of you. And then what did you do after that? What did you decide
house
after
job,
that?
there is an exam. Most of the students go abroad after house job. They attempt for USMLE, UKMLE, Canadian exam, Australian exams. I had this in my mind that I should go abroad. There were
to specialize or something?
To specialize, and in Pakistan there is less opportunities. More opportunities are waiting for me, and because they actually prefer good grade students abroad. Many of my friends or colleagues who were competitors of mine in my college, that so everyone decided to go abroad.
Okay.
But I had my mind, and it was inculcated from the early childhood that Pakistan have given us so much.
Yes.
And it's time to serve Pakistan.
That's
I'm
the
accepting
spirit.
that the fact that Pakistan is economically not stable now, but I believe the good days will come very soon.
Absolutely.
And if I go abroad, I learn something, I should come back.
And
I don't stay there for money. I should serve Pakistan because Pakistan is our beloved homeland.
that's our identity.
Actually, this was in my mind that it is disloyal to your country to go abroad.
And not come back.
Not come
You
back.
can go abroad, learn new
come back
techniques,
to-
and come back and teach.
In Pakistan, yes. Most of the students go back because there was more established and well-managed healthcare system. They used to stay there, they don't come back. They are earning a lot of money.
And our doctors are probably one of the best ones in the world.
Yes, yes. American doctors actually claim that Pakistani doctors are the best who came to America.
in the world. Okay.
So I actually ignored this fact that I should not go abroad. I was considering this disloyalty to my homeland. Then there is exam in for specialization in Pakistan. This is called FCPS Part 1,
Yeah.
Fellow of College of Physicians and Surgeons Pakistan Part 1 exam. I prepared really hard for 3 months for that, and I've just taken exam yesterday, and I hope I can.
You're
clear
not working at the moment. You're just studying and giving exams.
I'm not working anywhere. But beside, I studied for public health. Because public health is a department which is actually very advanced in the abroad, but here it is not progressing more. Because public health motto is prevention is better than cure. And the prevention is always, ignored in Pakistan. They don't prevent themselves.
They focus on
cure.
So
I was thinking I should, and MPH, the degree is called MSPH or MPH. It is preferred by those students who are not good in grades. But I preferred that because I should serve in Pakistan in preventive health.
Okay.
Prevention can actually prevent you from the many diseases. So I have passed.
It can save you from a lot of diseases, and you can be well prepared in advance, and you can tackle this issue in a much better way.
And in Corona, actually, Pakistan was exposed so much, so there was no public health specialist because they have to make a plan for control of COVID. If they are not there, so who will make plan? The management specialists. I know in Pakistan public health department there is people working with simple bachelors or stuff like that.
They're not trained or specialized to handle that. Most of the people. Okay.
So I actually prefer that. I have cleared first semester with good grades, and
you want to build on that.
Yes.
What are your future plans? Which area do you want to specialize in, or where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself?
During the house job, you get to know very much stuff about the hospitals that in which department you can work a lot. Because in the start of MBBS journey, I was sitting in my class and teacher was asking in which specialty you have to go. Everyone was saying neurosurgery, neuromedicine, cardiac surgery. But at the end of MBBS journey, after so much struggle and effort, everyone's saying I should go in general medicine. I should go in skin, eyes, stuff like that. Because the journey of MBBS is not ending at MBBS. The journey of medicine continues 10 years, at least 10 years after the
I think that's a very important statement, and not only 10 years, I think it's for life.
Yes.
Because there's so many developments every day internationally that you have to keep yourself abreast of all, otherwise you'll just fade out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did clear my first semester, and now I am thinking that
I want to specialize in what?
Ophthalmology.
Ophthalmology.
So
because of your dad, again?
Because of my dad, and one thing that eyes are jewel of the body, and they are window to this beautiful world.
Yeah.
If you don't have kidney, if your kidney is not working, you can go for dialysis. If you don't have liver, you can go for liver transplant. You can't go for ophthalmological transplant or eye transplant.
You can't have new eyes.
You can't have new eyes. So this was in my mind that I should go for that. Oculoplasty is a surgery for this kind of. And second was, I was not as tough as other specialized general surgery. You have to come at the 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. for a surgery. Urgent patients come. I was not that much difficult because I struggle very hard and I want to enjoy the life.
Also, that's your right. After studying so much, you need to live life and you need to serve humanity also.
And another reason is also that my father is always there 24/7 with me, so he can guide me what to study in I and how can I progress in that. I can, there is photorefractive surgeries are coming into advancement nowadays, so I can go for that. More people with glasses, I have glasses even, so glasses removal surgeries and
laser surgery and all.
Yes, it was already the aesthetic ophthalmology I actually got motivated.
And you'll at some stage you'll have to go abroad also to specialize?
Yes, after specialization in Pakistan, I will give exam of specialization in UK, because that is simple thing, and they actually recognize the training in Pakistan, in UK.
And what do you think, what are the challenges for a fresh medical graduate once he graduates immediately after graduation? What are the challenges like in this field of medicine for youngsters?
For youngsters and young fresh graduates, the most difficult thing they find is finding a job and finding a house job before that even. Because house job is not preferred to everyone. There is a lot of chaos and a lot of difficulties you find. And in finding a job, there is no opportunities actually, because doctor retires at 60 or 70 years of age, and they get post-retirement employment also. And where will go all the young doctors?
Where will the youngsters go?
No go. So it is
that is one issue. What can government do to uplift this health sector in Pakistan?
You know, there is a lot of around 8,000 seats of medicine are there in Pakistan. Every year 8 to 10,000 students get graduated from medical school. But you know, the opportunities come for 50 to 60. This should be increased at least. And there is no pay structure or you can say promotion structure in medical doctors. You are working in 17 grade and you are retiring after 20 years in 17 grade. This is not the way.
There's no career progression.
You know, every day young doctors are actually protesting about that.
Yeah.
This is main reason. They have no pay structure, they have no promotion structure. They don't get promoted after 5 years service, 10 years service. So they're actually fed up, and that's why they prefer private clinics and private jobs. And
so I'm sure there's some reforms in process health department.
Yes.
It's an ongoing process.
This is also one of my
areas of specialization.
In public health, you make policies about the health, and that's it.
So we would like that coming right from the horse's mouth. A young doctor who can actually feel the pain and contribute to betterment of this initiative. Okay, so you want to specialize in ophthalmology, and most of your friends, you said, have gone abroad for specialization, and they will be coming back, hopefully, inshallah. No? That's very sad, no?
That's why I was saying that this is disloyal to this country.
Yes.
You studied here, you have to serve here.
And I believe that, see, whatever we are, any one of us who has made some kind of name or God has been kind, owes it all to this identity, which is Pakistan. No, we studied here, we ate here, we were born, bred here. How can we not give back to Pakistan if Pakistan has given us so much? It is but mandatory that we give a bit, if not more, back to Pakistan.
And what we are saying, that maybe audience feel that like it is bookish things, and we are just repeating the words we hear from television or everywhere. This is not. I have proof. My father got many opportunities abroad to serve there, to earn more money, to give us a luxurious lifestyle, but he didn't go. And he always inculcated in my mind that you should not go abroad. And one thing is, and another thing is, my parents are in old age, and everyone parents in the young age that the boys are young, then parents are old, so you have to take care of them instead of going abroad and earning money for them.
Your dad, by the way, is a young guy. I just met him. I hope he's also not watching this program. That was on a lighter note. So what are the new latest developments in this medicine field these days? Any you would like to share something?
The recent development I studied, I actually heard about that, was against cancer. Up till now, we have been listening that cancer is not incurable disease, and you just turn down the level of cancer. So the Deltasmivir is a drug that was introduced in America recently, like 2 to 3 months back, and although it is costly, may take 5 to 10 years in Pakistan, but that is very new development. And moreover, I was taking into account the ophthalmology, so there is artificial eyes coming that are implanted in human. Although vision is not there,
AI, artificial intelligence?
No, artificial eyes.
Artificial eyes. Oh, okay. Okay.
So they can be implanted into someone if I get lost or damaged through some trauma or incident. Although the vision is not, vision is given by Allah Almighty, but you can give a static appearance to it. It was actually a very good advancement in field.
Wow. So these are the new areas of development that we can look into.
And another development is interventional radiology. You go for surgery for cholecystectomy, pancreatic cancers and everything. Now there is a hole, a simple hole is made in the abdomen, and you put into the camera and the gamma knife, and you cut out, and
you don't need to open the body.
Open the body. You don't have to make an incision, a large incision that takes healing time for the 6 months, 7 months, and patient is very need very good rehabilitation. So this is not the case in recent.
So invasive surgery is on the decline.
Actually, yes.
That's good news for patients. Okay, great. So those are the new medical developments, medical science developments. Tell me, is there anything that you regret in life? Is something that you could have done or should have done over the way, but because of your studies or, you know, such a tough routine you couldn't manage?
I had just one regret in my life, that I couldn't get admission at RMC, following the footsteps of my father. Because the famous RMC is actually but aim for me was.
But you did much better in Fazaiya.
As it is said that Allah
God has a plan for everyone, and that's the best plan.
Yes.
I tell you.
And I have said to my father that if I got admission in RMC, I could not have taken so much medals, because you have to go 1 hour drive daily to RMC,
you
and
get
come
tired.
back and you get tired. And Fazaiya is okay, 10 minutes drive, and you can spend that time on the study.
And Fazaiya has been good to you, like you got adjusted there.
And it was new college. Every new college actually tries that students get more learning at that, so that they are recognized by PMDC, and they get renowned college of the Twin Cities.
Okay. So tell me about your extracurricular activities now that you've been doing all over, and you've had distinctions. You've been into debates. You've been a poet. You are a poet, for that matter, and you've been comparing or anchoring also. For that matter, in your school, college days. So tell us a bit about and the distinctions. You've got a lot of medals there also.
Actually, from the class 3, just as I mentioned earlier, I got first position in English debate in the zonal competition. That inspired me. I participated then in Milli Nagma competition, national song competition in the zonal level. I got first position in that.
Wow.
Actually, I was not singer. I was not interested in that. Then in the secondary school education, I was head of the Adab Society. I participated in debates and got prizes. But the main climax and main uphill was in Punjab College. They actually used to back up the students in their college that you should participate, and they actually give you scholarships on the basis of debates.
Okay.
So I actually participated in 2 competitions, and there was an interesting story that I was new student. There was a student of second year who used to participate from the Punjab College in inter-universities and inter-colleges competition, and good always good positions and stuff like that. But one day he got ill and he could not come. They said another student named Hamza is here, and he can come.
He can fill in.
He can fill in. So they called me. I went and I delivered a speech. I was okay.
And like that was an extempore?
No, it was a debate.
It was a debate. Written.
So written speech. They actually provided me with the speech that you should memorize and deliver it. Then there was a competition, intra-college competition in which he was there and I was there. I actually won that, one-sidedly. So they decided to send me this time. Because I was in first year, he was in second year, he was senior. I actually went and Federal Board of Intermediate and Education actually organized one competition of inter-collegiate. I won that. After that, I participated in all Twin Cities competition in intercollegiate. I won that. And in the second competition I am mentioning, I was rejected in the audition. and then they called me suddenly for no reason, and you can come. I went there and I actually won the competition.
Wow.
But then in universities, I participated in extempore, Urdu extempore, English, Urdu debates, backbazi competitions, essay writing competitions, poster making competition. That is actually related to girls because I was the only boy who was reading at that time.
Okay.
But I won every poster competition, presentation competition, oral presentation about my research. I did researches. And along with that, I participated recently as compare. I got award of best compare of the session from the Punjab College. I was awarded best extracurricular performer of the year from the Punjab College. Then I got best graduate of institution from the Fazaiya Medical College. That was based on my extracurricular activities.
Wow.
And I participated in badminton and cricket. I was continuous part of badminton and cricket team of Fazaiya Medical College and participated in very sports competition happening.
So it's not just study.
No.
A lot more to you.
In the start of my journey, it was not my passion, as I mentioned earlier. But later on, as I used to it, I participated. I got appreciation, that the feeling of goodness coming.
So encouragement is
Encouragement
extremely
and
important.
appreciation, and parents are supporting, teachers are supporting that you should participate.
Then you want to do more.
Right. And one thing always come in my mind: if Allah has given you abilities to speak, Allah has given you abilities to perform, then why can't you perform?
Why are you not
should
using
perform.
those abilities?
Yes. So I never let my this passion lagging behind. I always take studies with my extracurricular activities.
Good stuff.
And I'm alhamdulillah good in both.
Do you guide your younger brother also?
Yes.
You do.
He's also extracurricular performer.
And he's also doing medicine?
Paramedical stuff, you can say, optometry.
Okay, great. But he does look up to you and he takes advice from you.
Yes.
Are you still doing poetry?
Yes, I am writing poetry.
So can you just recite 2 or 3 stanzas of your favorite poem?
I usually write on the experiences of the other people. Like if someone experienced pain, I will write upon that.
Okay.
Because alhamdulillah, I have never experienced so much pain in my life.
God has been kind.
One poetry I used to write in Urdu language.
Okay, no problem.
It was ये क्या तूने जिंदगी में खेल चला लिया,
ये क्या तूने जिंदगी में खेल चला लिया,
और मुझे इसका 12वां खिलाड़ी बना लिया. You know, 12th man.
Okay.
कि जब कोई ना मिला तो मुझे बुला लिया, और जब मिल गया तो रास्ता दिखा दिया.
वाह.
इतना भी हकीर न समझ मुझे ए बेवफा, इतना भी हकीर न समझ मुझे ए बेवफा, कभी दिल लगा लिया, कभी रास्ता दिखा दिया.
Oh, so this is romantic poetry.
Romantic
actually,
poetry.
For all the benefit of all the viewers, this is romantic poetry, and you are basically complaining to your beloved that you can't take me for granted.
Yes.
You have to give me due consideration and serious importance.
Yes.
Right? Okay. That was on a lighter note. But Hamza, it was lovely talking to you. Before we wrap up, you're a source of inspiration for a lot of youngsters. A lot of youngsters would want to be like you, and the way Pakistan can rise is when youngsters like you come in the forefront, realize the real problems and issues of Pakistan, the people of Pakistan, and do their best practically to resolve them. What advice would you like to give to all those people who are watching you right now?
First of all, for all the paramedical and medical students, you will be saying that I have got a lot of medals and awards in my MBBS journey. It was easy, and it was not easy that much. You have to set small targets. The biggest mistake we do is we actually aim, I want to become best graduate like Hamza. This is not the way. You have to set small targets. I want to top in my class. I want to top in the university.
Small doable targets.
Small doable targets. One thing is that. Second one is you have to show responsibility with your studies. If you are studying, don't study for that the person is looking at me, I am studying, I am good. This is not the way. You have to sincere with yourself. And for medical students, the biggest responsibility is you should learn everything very deeply and very straightforwardly and in the good manner that you are going to deal with the human body. Your mistake will not be acceptable at any cost. Second one, for the youngsters, I actually never think that if I have done good, this is the climax and this is the end point. I should not do more. I should work more hard, even harder, to achieve your aims. And there is no shortcut in your life. Always work hard, taking the prayers of your parents, respecting your teachers, and give your 100%. I have this experience in my life. Allama Iqbal said, "इरादे जिनके पुख्ता हो, नज़र जिनकी खुदा पर हो, तलातुम ख़ेज़ मौजों से वो घबराया नहीं करते." If your intentions are right, you are on the straight path, you have set your aims high, then you can achieve that. And Allah always blesses you if you give your 100% with the pure heart. If your intentions are right, you always can rock the world.
Thank you very much, Hamza. That was amazing talking to you. And as you mentioned, hard work, intentions should be pure. Set small challenges and challenge yourself, achieve that. Listen to your elders. There is no shortcut to success. You have to work extremely hard. And then the last but not least, you have to give back to your society, to your country, to your people what you owe to them. We are what we are because of Pakistan, and we need to give back to Pakistan what we owe to Pakistan. I can see few years down the line you'll be a very, very successful doctor, inshallah ta'ala, and you'll be doing a lot for Pakistan, and Pakistan is proud to have a son like you. Thank you very much. With this, viewers, we come to the end of this episode of Sky is the Limit. I hope you enjoyed it. Inshallah ta'ala, FAROOQ Hasan will see you in another episode of Sky is the Limit. Till then, Allah Hafiz.